Okay. We are here. We are live. We are about to get started on the Espresso State of Mind. Hello, 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 everybody. Day 2. Is it supposed to be that weird? Why does it look like that?
My feed is good.
We're in, guys.
Oh, there it is. It's right there.
Okay. We're going to pull up the bracket. The quality seems strange to you. 720.
On the machines, and just for safety's sake, we want to make sure the floor is nice and dry for baristas and stuff. So we're going to be starting probably a little 15 minutes late, but just want to give you guys a heads up so you can wander around, grab that last cup of coffee, or use the restroom, whatever you need to do. But we'll be getting kicked off here in probably another 10 to 15 minutes. So thanks so much. Talk soon. We're excited for round 2 of competition today. Who's excited? Yeah, so you can clap. We're excited. We got a bunch of stoked baristas ready to come out here and show you some amazing art. This is a head-to-head competition. For those of you guys that didn't join us yesterday, these were all 2 barista competitors pouring at exactly the same time. And at the end of a clock of 2.5 minutes, they'll submit one drink alone that will be scored by our 3 amazing judges up here. And I'll walk through how we do the scoring in just a second. But right now, I'd like you all to help me welcome our first 2 barista competitors today up on the stage. How about a round of applause for Maddie Bolchi and Edward Felon Jr. Come on up.
Not have had or at least we would have had to switch the coffee out for other coffee more than classes.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon from wherever you are. We are here on day 2. As Josh is saying now, it is a free pour latte art competition. I'll give him a second.
As the competitor across the hall from them, they're going to be extracting that espresso and steaming and texturing the milk and pouring it into the espresso to create beautiful design. There's no etching, there are no additives. It's literally the flow of the milk pouring into the coffee that creates amazing, beautiful designs, which you guys will see very shortly. Now, in addition to the fact that they all trained professional baristas, many of them working in cafes that you know and love, they are also competitors, which means they have the capability of reproducing beverage designs again and again under pressure and making sure they can hit a number of categories as they do so. So it's not just pouring a design haphazardly or just because you know how or want to. They're strategically creating designs based to score certain point categories and move forward in this competition. Because this is not only a very coveted prize of being first, second, or third place in this competition, there's also a massive cash purse, which isn't bad for a barista to walk away with some extra money in your pocket after pouring a few lattes. As known by this man here, who is our only reigning 3-time back-to-back champion, Matthew Bolchi. Give him a good round of applause. And Eddie's will be open to unthrone the champ. How you feeling today, Eddie? Good to see you. Styling, profiling. All right, let's put these baristas on the clock for our first round of competition. I'll walk through the scoring with you guys in the audience. Edward, you ready? Maddie, you ready? Okay, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Have a huge round of applause, guys, for our first 2 competitors in round 2. On the mark, get set, go! All right. So scoring. The way these baristas score is a number of categories. First category is the speed point. So whichever these 2 baristas.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. We are starting here with Edward and Maddie. The clock has already started. We have 2 minutes just about, and both competitors are steaming their milk. Starting a little bit late in the day, but we are going to get ready and going. Alright, it looks like Maddie is just about to pour his first drink. And Edward right behind him. And just for anybody watching at home, the names are switched. Maddie going for a kind of slow Zeta style, very nicely inspired. Edward following right behind with a bit of a dribble, but looks like some kind of advanced tulip. I'm quite honest, I wasn't watching at that moment. And it looks like Maddie is actually going to go back for a second pour, as well as Edward. Who nobody has the speed point yet. And it looks like both competitors are not quite happy with what they put down. Yeah, that's what I do too whenever, like Edward right there shaking his hands. I'm the same way. It's hard, and sometimes you get really stressed and you just gotta kind of shake it out. The moment right before you steam is kind of this like beautiful moment. It's either really stressful or really calming. And Maddie's transferring his milk. He's already going to go ahead and pour. He has about 30 seconds to do so. And Edward is still steaming. It is plenty of time to pour, but only if he starts pouring immediately. And just those little motions right there, taking that time, picking up the rag, cleaning the steam wand. Ideally, the rag would be somewhere near your steam wand, so you don't have to make 2 movements just to do that. But with 15 seconds on the clock, should be able to complete this design. Maddie is going to debate which one he's going to put down. Looks like the second one is the winner. And with that last second, both competitors made it. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Wow. So as we can see here on the right, you have Maddie's Slow Zeta, Flow Zeta style, and then you have Edward's classic Wing Wing 1. Just try taking a peek at these from a distance. I can definitely see a lot of color distribution and a lot of line clarity going on in Maddie's. Though I would argue they might give line clarity to Edward here, but color distribution is definitely strong on Maddie. I would say execution 100% over on Maddie, and that is almost identical to what Maddie was probably trying to pour. Beautiful little hooks above the heart on the right side of the pour in Maddie's, which just comes from that tucking back into the top heart. Very beautiful, especially in comp, especially first pour, second day. And then on the other side, we have Edward. You can kind of see in the middle that ripple layer could have been developed a bit more, held a little bit longer. Of course, there was a time pressure. I would also argue that that top heart, when you're at that point and it's all happening very quick, take your time and try not to cut through too one-sided. But both pours are absolutely incredible. If I were to pick, my vote would go Maddie based on the points. And we'll see what the judges say. So Maddie is moving on. That makes sense. But not for the lack of effort. Edward put in a very good pour there. It was very beautiful. I'm curious what Edward put down first. I would love to have seen that pour first. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so we got round 1 next up on our bracket. Who do we got? We've got Matt and Omar. This is going to be exciting. Good luck, Matt. Good luck, Omar. Congratulations, Maddie. The maroon beanie Maddie. I only know Maddie to wear one color and, well, 2 colors, and that's gray and maroon. Look at him. Even the way he walks is stoic.
Matt, how you doing today? Ready to rock and roll? Good. Doing the same good things.
And we're getting prepped here in the beginning moments. The clock has not started. Both baristas are shaking out those nerves, stretching those muscles, meditating, taking that deep breath.
All the baristas just getting settled in here. I want to thank one of our amazing sponsors, Espresso machines, for providing these MVP hydrants and people customized blue and yellow, independent pumps per group, PID control, tons of great features on this machine, temperature stability, built and handcrafted right in Seattle, Washington. Thank you, Espresso, for your support of the Boost.
All right, it looks like Omar is already going to go for that pour. Omar is ready to go using a not neutral cups. Starting with a beautiful wing base. Limited on the ripples, we'll see how that comes together. And Matt, looks like Matt is pouring as well. A little bit full in the cup for Matt, and it looked like it was, yep, there is a bit of a spill, and he was biased towards one side in that angle. So definitely something, we'll see if Matt's gonna put that down or if he's gonna go for a second. If he wanted to go for a second, he has plenty of time to do so. But of course, the cards will tell. Oh, and Matt is gonna take it. This is very interesting, especially because you can see there is still a blemish on Matt's cup that he did miss. They did not see that in the moment.
Just over a minute left. Now's where the gamesmanship takes over. You don't get the speed points, you have to make sure you hit every one of those other categories through those scoring points.
And Omar is going back for a second drink. I guess he was not happy with his first. But he has plenty of time to do so. He has 50 seconds. He's already pouring. That is quite fast and definitely Laco worthy. Nice. That is a much better example of a second layer ripple where he continued to ripple until it fully filled in. Not knowing what this looks like yet, but I will assume that the second tier is very developed. That is very beautiful. That is a beautiful pour. Both are stunning options to pick from. It looks like he's gonna go with that pour. There is a little bit of a break in the base over to the right side of the pour, but I'm not sure if that's gonna matter as much considering Matt has a large spill on the side. We'll see what the judges say. So here's an example. This is a really beautifully executed Rosetta to the right that Matt has here. And you can see it on the camera if you happen to go back. Matt was biasing towards one side with that pitcher. The pitcher was leaning. And what that did is it's shortened and shrunk these little leaves on the side, whereas the left side of Matt's design was much more open, much more broad, catching that color distribution. Omar here, in my opinion, has line clarity, color distribution, and potentially execution as well. If we're counting the points, though I don't know how the judges are going to count on symmetry with this one, considering Omar is missing a large chunk at that top in the left pour, and then you have a little bit of an asymmetry on this right pour here from Matt. But that second layer, wow, that second layer on Omar's is absolutely fantastic. Tons of color distribution. He stuck it through. He stayed there. He held the layer and continued to ripple. Very big thing you can do if you ever want to make your bases and your wings look more magnificent. Okay.
Okay, moving on, we have Omar.
And Omar is moving on. But that was a battle. That was a battle. And with matching outfits, or at least matching in color.
Should be
Brian Chang and Motion.
Alrighty, next we have Brian Chang and one more pour, Motion. Now, if everybody was paying attention yesterday, Motion was wearing the exact same shirt in a different color. Motion has a large collection, and he is also a cartoon character. So if Emotion makes it on to do one more pour tomorrow, we will see what color shirt he brings. But as of now, we're in a maroon vibe. We got Josh doing a little dance over there. Let's see what Brian's gonna bring to the table as well. Brian poured immaculately yesterday. We'll see how it goes there. Always make sure, if you are not a normal competitor, always take the time, always, to clean your station. It is good practice, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yes. Brian, how are you doing?
Going into the chat, we have the chat asking, is there any criteria for these pours? Generally speaking, we go off of 7 main points. This is March Madness style bracket, 1v1 at a time. One competitor goes, or both competitors go in, one wins, one loses. Winner wins, loser dies. Maybe not that serious, but it is essentially that competition. The points are aesthetic beauty, balance and symmetry, line clarity, so how crisp the lines are, color distribution, how much color is wrapped into the actual design, difficulty, execution as well, speed point, and clean cup. And all you need to win is 4 points.
Another one of these.
All you need is 4 points.
Connected to the judges' station so that I can hear the players. I don't have to
Alrighty, so Motion's got a stacked cup. He's trying to preserve some of that crema, get that juicy, thick shot that he's going to pour into, which may be a hit or miss depending on this coffee. I haven't worked with this coffee yet, but assuming if the coffee's very thick, that might be something you do not want to do. And if it's thin, you definitely do want to do that. So we'll see how that plays out for Motion. We'll see how that contrast goes. That being said, contrast is not a point. So should you get any more contrast by doing a stacked cup or a double ristretto, it may not help you, but it also may help you with flow. So that is a technique one can take. Both competitors are pouring. Looks like Motion is just a little bit ahead. Brian is just now laying down the rest of his second layer. Oh, but Brian has a very, very beautiful tulip going on. And Motion is doing a wing 3 as well. This is going to be another game of who wore it best. Motion has what looks like a wing with a heavy frame. Wow, but Brian has a just incredible line clarity, color distribution, and honestly, execution. That is absolutely stunning. This is going to be a tight one. I think that the judges are going to personally lean towards Brian, just based on that visualization, that look. Look at all those lines, really getting them in there. This is a good example of staying with the base, not cutting up too soon. The longer you add ripples, of course your cup will fill up, but the more magnificent and the more full your base is going to be. So I always recommend, if you want your bases aces, keep rippling, just like Dory. Keep rippling. That being said, Motion over here is quite good, and he actually does have quite a few more stacks. That top heart, middle layer looks great. Base is a little bit lacking when it comes to the actual individual lines of the wings. Little bit, tiny bit of asymmetry going on in Brian's, but it's almost negligible. You almost can't tell. Motion's, while the base is not fully developed, does have this appearance of more symmetry, even in some of the executive flaws that are going on. But Brian's is... I want to pour like Brian one day when I'm older. That's the plan. Okay. There is a little bit of a blemish on Brian's base. It did slightly bust at the bottom. It's very full, but I do think maybe with not much of a lead. Both pours are beautiful, but I do think Brian's going to take this one.
Judges are ready. Let's see who's moving on. Okay, we have moving on. Brian.
And Brian's going to take that. Alrighty, next we have Yoshinori and Sean Benzivi. Sean Benzivi. Classic throwback. Her name is not Benzivi, it's Benzvi, but Josh over here, our humble host, always tends to call her Benzivi. Might as well change it at this point, but we'll see. Very excited to see how this round goes. Yoshinori is a beast. Sean as well is a beast. I believe we're going to see a winged tulip of some sort versus a swan, because of course it wouldn't be a battle with Sean if it wasn't a swan. It's a rhyme. It's in the name. It's her legacy.
Maybe eventually. Yeah, I like how y'all are flowing right now.
seen races at Florida, they're on that signature pour over and over. Really dedicated.
Yeah, I like it. Y'all are doing great.
It's really fun to see the breezes kind of take on their own appeal and style. And you see that everyone tries to copy it. So.
Alrighty, guys, how's everybody doing here in the chat? We got a few people in the house right now. We got 34 people watching. How's everyone doing today? Where's everybody coming from? I know Lance is here, and I know Lance is coming from Porto, Portugal. But let's see who else is here. Who else is here? And the clock has started. Sean already has dosed her milk. I believe that is personally, and as far as technique goes, the correct way to go. Dose your milk first. Get that out of the way. If anything, dose double. That's a personal take, but getting it out of the way is key. Then you can always pull back. You don't have to go do an extra step. Goals-wise, as far as when you're in this competition, it should be to get to the finish line first while having the best pour, obviously. And Tiki Breeze shouting out in the comments as I delightfully sip off of a delicious Tiki Breeze. A little ASMR coffee sip for you guys right there. Oh, we got some people in Manhattan. Of course, we're here in Manhattan as well. Oh, not Manhattan, though. That's funny. And we have, Charlotte, North Carolina. What's going on, TJ? We got Canada in the house. The little apple. That's really funny. Alrighty, it looks like Yoshinori is ready to pour. Sean is also pouring at the same time. Sean with just a little bit of a lead there. All right, we have the classic. Sean is going to go. Yep, we're doing a swan. Looks like Yoshinori is doing a classic tulip. A little bit of a ripple in that second tier on the third section of Yoshinori's pour, which was interesting. A lot of shakes going on here. Again, do not envy competitors right now. Those shakes are real. Sean set the drink down. Sean took speed with what looks like, quite frankly, a pretty immaculate swan. I've only known a few people to pour swans this way. Sean went ahead and took a little peek over at the competitor pour. Gave a nice little gesture of kindness at that pour. And Yoshinori is almost. No, it looks like he's gonna go with the first pour. Clean it up and set it down. Get in, get out. With 30 seconds on the clock, there's not much more you can do. Not much more you can do. Oh, we got Colorado Springs in the house as well. And Yoshinori took it out. He takes that, not the speed point, but he takes that first pour. Setting it down. All right. So looking at these from a distance, we can see on the right, Yoshinori has quite a bit of mixed coloring in the base. It is a complex tulip, little bit of an inconsistency when it comes to those ripples, as well as how that integration happened when Yoshinori dropped into the cup. There could have been a bit more mixing, or just making sure you're consistent and staying close to the surface. Looks like Sean has a beautiful wing base, maybe a little bit biased on one side. Not sure if that comes from the actual angle in which she was pouring, or if that's coming from the way she is stacking into the swan with those secondary layers, which is probably what's causing that. A little bit of a tightness in the wing and the neck, but the neck is quite beautiful, elongated, pulled back all the way to the top. That is a classic Sean swan. Sean swan swan. If we're looking at these points by points, I think that Sean is going to get color distribution, difficulty, execution, line clarity, and speed. So, I mean, it is pretty much, looks like it's going to go one way. I think it's going to be Sean. We'll see what the judges say.
While the judges deliberate, let's call up our next competitors who are on deck. Give it up, guys, for Prof and Mitchell Gibson.
While we wait for the round to be decided, this next round is a big one. We've got Prof here, and we've got Mitchell. Mitchell is a past champion. Prof as well is a past champion multiple times. Early in the competition, we got a battle. We got a battle going on. Only one can win. I wish we could all win. We can't all win. And Sean is going to move on. Good round. Good round. A lot of nerves in the air. Day 2 is nothing to laugh at. We got Walter Prof here looking like his finest Mozart impression. Purple maroon jacket looking like he's about to be at Tim Burton's funeral. And Prof is an elite competitor. Prof is a GOAT. Prof is a New York giant. He has won multiple times. Prof, you can catch him over at Chateau Le Wolf. You can catch him doing catering gigs all around the city. Prof's an OG. He's been here. And I think he'd be the first to tell you that latte art saved his life. And I think that's really beautiful. Out of all the competitors, Prof is one of the people in here I respect the most because he loves the game. And that is something I can get behind that. Not just about winning. It's about winning fairly. It's about winning through the points. And it's about strategy. Mitchell over here. Mitchell with the style. Always coming with the style, but also with the skill. Don't sleep on Mitchell's skill. I'm expecting a pretty complex and unorthodox tulip from Prof, or he's probably going to do that wing Rosetta that we saw yesterday. We'll see what he's working on. If he does the wing Rosetta, very good chance he's working on that for the final day. But if he does a tulip, well, we might be seeing something different from him every time. There have been rounds in the past where he has changed his mind last second in later rounds using things like tulips when he was practicing things like Rosettas through the comp. So we'll see if that is a strategy Prof takes this time or if he's on a set path. Mitchell with the pinky out on the pitcher, always with the elegance. Oh, maybe I miss seeing. But I will say, style points all the way. Looks like Prof is just about to pour. Getting in the zone. I'm really honored that we get to see Pirates pour latte art live here. Wow, already a great start. Beautiful wing. If only maybe a little bit underdeveloped, but he's going to make up with it with the subsequent layers that are going to come in this. That second wing is absolutely stunning, and those top hearts are perfect. So we'll see. He's going to submit it. Easy wipe and take. Wipe and take. All right, it looks like Mitchell here has a Rosetta that he's going to take. A little bit about this Rosetta. You can see Prof has a classic wing tulip. And something that you see commonly in Prof's wing tulips is in competition specifically. He does have a bias towards one side on his wing. We're seeing that in this as well. This Rosetta is a very filled in cup, but unfortunately those leaves in the middle didn't quite loosen up enough to reach to the sides. It looks like there wasn't enough milk flow as well. We'll see how this goes. I'm thinking that the judges are probably going to lean Prof. Prof does have color, or rather not color distribution, but line clarity. I would say Mitchell has color distribution. Prof has difficulty, execution, speed, a little bit of a squiggle in the cut through, but honestly probably negligible considering all of the other things that are going on here. My vote is Prof, but both competitors put down a beautiful pour. Mitchell has a little bit of a busted base here on the side as well. I'd love to see that Rosetta again with maybe a bit more forward momentum in that milk, really wrapping in those wings into the Rosetta. Let's see what the judges are going to say.
And our judges are ready, so let's see who's moving on to the next round.
Moving on, we have Prof.
And Prof, this is the prophecy, you know, it's got to be. That's what God said to me. A little freestyle for you, Liz. There goes the prophecy over there. I hope that he attends this funeral as soon as possible, because if he doesn't get to there, people know they're not going to wait on him. The person's already dead. So we'll see. That was pretty crazy. That was a good round. Next up on the bracket, we have Itsuki and Casey. Let's go. This is going to be a crazy round. We've got the vibes in the house. We've got the music coming on. I don't know if y'all can hear that at home, but there is some operatic music playing at the moment. Okay, there it goes. The beat drop.
Casey's like, I'm so good, I don't even remember what I said around. I do it all the time. Suki, how you feeling today? You're good, you got it, man. You did a really good job. Best of luck to you. You all settled in here? Excellent. Yeah, good.
Alrighty, we've got Casey and Itsuki going up. Looks like we are in. We are.
All right. Casey, Itsuki.
2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
On the mark, get set, go. Let's hear from guys.
Alrighty, we are at 2 minutes exactly on the clock. Casey is just about to steam. It looks like Itsuki is done steaming. Beautiful cups as always, with the classic vintage chinaware. I love a good teacup. Oh, a little bit of a shake going on, but a beautiful wing base. Ooh, little bit of a crash. Now this is an example, everybody. When you're watching something like this, when you are pouring something like this, and you have that beautiful ripple base coming out like that, but then you pull back and everything starts to warp. This is a key indicator that your milk is hella thin. And you can work with thin milk. It's not to take away from thin milk. It's just that you don't want to do a pour that's going to require heavy flow, like one of these wide leaf rosettas that Itsuki's trying to do. If you're going to pour with thin milk, you need to be doing a fine line classic style. Or you need to let the milk sit a little longer. Or you need to steam a little more in the beginning. Casey is going in for her first pour. It looks like to me that Casey has chosen an interesting cup. Everybody has their own style of pouring into. This cup does have a bit of a tall wall. I'm from Texas. We have an artist out there, Paul Wall. I like to say, "What a do, baby." It's the large cup, tall wall. It does look a little bit more of an egg shape. Would have to see it up close, but interesting shape. Oh, that is a much better rosetta from Itsuki. A little bit more texture going on there. Definitely able to save those leaves in the middle. I think he should take this one and omit the first one entirely. Looks like he's got to do a little cleaning. This is a downside of having a porcelain chinaware cup, is because you can't really get to those bottom edges if you had to clean it. And with 2, 1, and right at the buzzer, we have it set down. Wow. Not sparing a second, huh? Let's see these 2 pours on the screen. Beautiful, beautiful shot of having to walk the drink. Walking the drink is also a nerve-wracking moment if you didn't texture correctly. Okay, wow. Going right off the points from the very beginning, we have Itsuki with tons of color distribution all in this. Those top hearts really sell it for me, as well as that one leaf in the middle that actually completed really beautifully to the side. The rest of them are a little bit small and inconsistent. And really, that's the only thing I would take away from this pour, other than it is thinner milk. This milk is so thin that the pour cannot grow in the cup, and it stays tight and centered in the cup, which is personally not the aesthetic I would choose. I would prefer one notch more air to be able to throw that design and fill the cup in more, giving you more room for those leaves in the middle. To each his own. That being said, if you do have thin milk, this is an absolutely beautiful example of how to work with it. by making that base the priority and then shaping what you not messed up, but what you weren't able to get fully developed in the middle with those top hearts. If he had not done those top hearts, I do not know that they would have shaped that way. Casey has a bit of an underdeveloped base. It is a little bit leaning to one side. And it looks like Chris has already made a decision. Itsuki moves on. Itsuki moves on. That second pour was definitely a redemption pour compared to the first. But I want to see day 3, Itsuki maybe getting a little more texture in that milk. I agree with Lance. Lance in the comments saying the cup has too much surface area for that flow. Absolutely agree. Honestly, what I would love to see is if Casey and Itsuki had switched cups, because Casey had a much smaller, tall-walled cup. All of that foam would have been able to stick. It is much more laid out when you have a wider cup like that. Definitely, if I had milk that thin in a teacup, I would have leaned tulip, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on day 3. Oh, we got Teddy in the chat. Teddy in the chat. What's up, Teddy? All right, next on is going to be Aid Toozy. If you can't tell, I'm already losing my voice trying to talk over all these speakers. It's crazy. Camilo is giving me the eyebrow wink. I am sure later he's going to listen to this little talk that we have here. So I got to make sure to slip in just enough insults for him. Camilo, always a gem, always a shining star, always there to lend you the shirt off of his back, and a proper smile. One of the nicest people I know, Camilo. Everything that he's done for both his family and his farm and the coffee scene in New York is very inspiring. And of course we have Troy. Troy is a hidden legend, and Troy is a beast. If you don't already know the stuff that Troy pours, I think we're gonna have a battle for us at this moment. One thing I love is seeing Camilo and Haya, who are together. They are married. They have a different style, but you can definitely see where the styles start to blend. It is very beautiful to see that. You know, when barista couples get together, they always start to kind of pick up a little bit of traits of each other. Paul, Aurora, you name them. I couldn't even think of another one. Lance in the comments, how many baristas got married to each other? Was it in Daisuke get married to a barista? One Way, didn't they get married? I'm pretty sure they did. Not those individuals, but individually they both got married. Alrighty. Alrighty, they are both about a second within each other's time frame. It looks like Camilo is just a little bit ahead. Oh, maybe not. It looks like Troy. Oh no, I'm actually not seeing this correctly. Both competitors are still dosing their milk and have not steamed. Something I would suggest to you, if you are a competitor, like I've said before, is get the milk out of the way as soon as possible. You have to understand you have a time limit. Your shot is going to take double the time it takes for your milk. You might as well start your shot while you're steaming your milk if you're planning on transferring your milk. So it's all about mixing time elements in different places. If you're going to transfer milk, save those 3 seconds you do that by starting your shot, transfer your milk, and by the time your shot is done, you are already done steaming, you're already done transferring, you can pick up your cup and go. Which Troy is ready to pour, and right behind him is Camilo. Let's see. I have a feeling this is going to be one of the craziest battles. Camilo actually filled the cup up quite a bit before start. Yep, and he's out. Immediately, the first thing is as soon as you do that and you notice something's wrong, ditch. I would agree with that call. You have time to start over. If you see your base is going to be limited in size, not flowing out, you mixed too much, maybe your shot was too big, go for something else. And then we have Troy. Troy put down a beautiful wing tulip with some asymmetry issues, and we'll debate that in just a minute. Definitely leaning a bit to the left. We'll see what Camilo can put out in the next 41 seconds. Plenty of time to pour a second drink.
30 seconds left, Camilo.
Remember, everybody, when you transfer milk, that is your moment to take a deep breath. And don't forget to breathe. All right, here we go. Camilo's in. 21 seconds, plenty of time. All right, he's starting the cup a bit sooner this time. He's going to do a slow to fast ripple Rosetta. Interesting choice. And Camilo, with 4 seconds, sets it down. Great effort. Great job. Wow. It's not easy, everybody. Oh, so if we look at these pours, both are beautiful ideas of the pour. Neither side, if I'm being critical, has execution. We have to give the point to somebody. If you're going to give it to somebody, you're going to give it to Troy in this round. Troy has a lot of symmetry issues, a lot of inconsistencies in this base, and a lot of inconsistencies in those top hearts, as well as that cut through. Camilo is missing an entire side of the Rosetta. That is tough. Camilo also has thin milk, and you can see the pour is basically a triangle. Like the pour is not a circle as in the shape of the cup. That being said, I do think that Camilo is going to get line clarity, and arguably one could give him color distribution, but I think that Chris will count the color distribution in the top hearts on Troy's more specifically. We'll see how they go, but Troy definitely has difficulty, execution, speed, and probably symmetry in this case. Judges are ready though. And Troy.
Give it up, guys.
That was a accurate call if we are going based off the objective points. Both of these pours could have been improved. Both of these pours are pretty. And very good job from the competitors. We'll see what day 3 Troy has to offer. And we'll see if Camilo is still my friend after this commentary. It's tough.
Sanchez and
yeah, it's tough when you have a pour that starts out either a little too thick or you integrated way too much. You don't have enough room and your base is just not sliding, which is what was happening to Camilo. I wouldn't argue Camilo's pour was thick at first. I didn't see it enough to know that, but it did not have the momentum you need, and it looked like he had integrated a lot more than he normally does and didn't leave himself the room for the pour. That second pour was a bit too thin, and with that heavy flow, it collapsed. Oh, but next round we have Julian. And we have Kengo, our reigning champion. Not late today, by the way. He did not have to miss, or did not have to get on an Uber directly from a flight. And I'm pretty sure Kengo's wearing the exact same outfit he won the world championship in Florida. But I'm not gonna outfit shame him. Kengo, I'm rooting for both of these competitors. Julian is a long friend. Super humble, super sweet ever since I moved here to New York. Kengo, new to the scene, already a champion. Absolutely one of the kindest, most humble people I've ever met. Guy wanted to try to give me an EK43 and I said no. Guy's the coolest guy in the world. Coolest guy in the world. And there's nothing better than when a champion wins and they are humble and sweet and they lift the industry beyond what it was. Hello, everybody. Hello, Joe. And we have a little present here that Joe dropped off for the live stream. Your little bird. A little finger bird, as opposed to normal birds. You gotta make sure that you don't piss off a pigeon because they'll remember you and they will come back and get you. They get revenge. It's very common. It's very good pigeon lore. Yeah, we gotta put it on our thumb now. Whenever a pour wins, we're either gonna give it a birds up or a bird down. We'll see which one. Looks like Kingo is playing the drums and the steam wand apparently. A little bum 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 bum. I just wanted to ask everybody really quick. Everybody here, y'all are enjoying this commentary. Y'all would agree that Emily's commentary is so much stronger than Javi's commentary was, right? By a show of hands, what do y'all think? Oh, wow. Wow, that was a really big show of hands. That's really amazing. If not a little loud if not a little loud. Can we get a community year? And it looks like Kango is already done with his milk, ready to pour his first drink. Julian is still steaming in that meditative space. Ooh, let's go. Kango coming in perfect drop in. Lots of lines in that wing base. Remember, guys, don't stop adding the lines. If you want complexity, if you want to win these things, you gotta add in complexity. But not that much complexity. I love what Kango's doing in the top layers, but that is completely overwrapped, if we're being quite honest. And the base stretched a little too high. If Kango had put those layers a little lower, what would have happened is you would have seen what is more commonly seen in Houston, is a much more wrapped design in the earlier layers. But because he was separating those layers, creating that separation and creating those taller wings, they stretched and stretched and stretched all the way until they stretched into the top, because he was doing so much in those top hearts. If he had done less with the top hearts to compensate, it would not have overwrapped like that. It looks like Tulian is going to set his drink down as well. All right, Tulian is set down, taking the speed point. Kango's going for the second. We've seen this with Tulian before. Tulian has a bit of what I would call an underdeveloped base here. Not a lot of forward pushing with the ripples as soon as the base starts to meet where the pitcher is, which means it doesn't close up. The base stays open and kind of frayed out like a pack of French fries at the bottom. And when you add the extra layers, of course, the top is beautiful, but you don't have a wing. You don't have a wing, so there is a compromise there you have to make. It looks like Kango went and took a little peek at Tulian's pour and then decided what he wants to put down. With plenty of time, he is going to put that first pour down. And I do think that is the correct call. I think even with the overwrapping, I think Kango's middle layers is going to compete against Julian's, and his completed base is going to hold up stronger. But let's see in person. It is a tight one. Both have similarities. Both are going for complexity in terms of stacking. Both have issues with the base. If I were to lean towards one side, I would lean Kango, but there's a lot of unforgivable material going on at that top part of Kango's pour. The way the base is overwrapping and almost completely obliterating that top heart. You can see Tulian's top heart. This is interesting because both competitors are doing such a similar thing, but they have issues in the opposite places. Tulian needs to fill in his base more. Kango needs to allot for the space if he's going to do these crazy stacks at the top and fill the base in less, or vice versa. Well, let's see what the judges say. I want to see what the chat says. Yeah, that's both tried for way too much. Like, if you come back on it, there's a beauty when you've mastered something in simplicity. The more simple it is, the more dynamic and complexity you can actually make it, in my opinion. Mastery and simplicity. And it looks like Chris is fumbling with the mic.
All right.
There he goes.
Moving on to the next round, we have Kango.
Kango's moving on. I would agree with that call as well. Yeah, I do agree, Lance, selfishly because of execution. Yeah, I can see that 100%. Execution, degree of difficulty, honestly, both went for way too much. I don't even know if I would give them difficulty. Is there difficulty in complexity, or is there difficulty in simplicity? Is less more, or is more less? Shout out Tiki Breeze. I would take, you have to understand, if you look at both of those pours, think about both of those pours that we just watched. If someone did a wing 5, like a simple wing 5, and it didn't overwrap and it was symmetrical and it had good color, you'd win. It doesn't have to be this crazy thing. Granted, by the time you get to day 3, you definitely want to do some more complexity, but you really do not have to go for so much. You can keep it easy. Oh wait, is this the fluke round?
From our friends at Pacific
We have our Barista Series round. So I'm going to take a step off and I'm going to let them battle it out. This is an audience-driven round, so as soon as we get the pours, I would love to see you guys in the chat vote for who you think wins. The audience here is going to vote for who they think wins, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Get set. Go, let's do it. Let's hear it for them, guys.
And so I've decided another thing for you guys, everybody listening, which is apparently every competitor. Yesterday, when I was doing the commentary, your girl's a bit of an open filter. I don't really tend to hold back what I say. Sometimes I say way too much, way too fast. Every single one of you competitors came up to me and said, I heard what you said last night. I heard what you said on the live stream. And every single one, it was either good or bad. You all deserve everything I said. I am going to stand ground, and I am going to say, honestly, ideally, I'm here to help you. If I'm nitpicking about your pour, I promise you, no ego involved. It is all about skill and executing to that next level. So, everybody watching later, good luck. We're going to see. We'll see how many friends Emily has after this live stream. Usually when you're competing,
Just under a minute and a half left to go.
you have 64 competitors, and 63 of them are going to lose. One of them is going to lose twice, and that is 4th place. Worst place to get. Worst place to get. Oh, wow. We have an alternative milk round, and it looks like, I'm not sure if these are the correct names, but I know they are not the correct names, but got our first pour down. Yeah, no, I am too old and too jaded to not speak from the heart and speak from the lart. And, you know, a lot of these people are some of the best in the world. That's why we have them here. And a lot of them, they also think they're the best in the world. And a lot of the time, you know, what would be really good for them is to not think that and to go back to the drawing board and relearn. I need to relearn. You know, we always go in these cyclical circles. That is what a circle is. That is an oxymoron.
We switch to the visual, get the screen up for show these two beverages.
Oh, wow. Alrighty, chat. Let's see what you guys think. I think I already know who I like.
Igor, come on up here.
But what do you guys think? Do you have
All right,
left?
friends, by a round of applause.
Or do you have
the
right?
Judges. Is David going to win $100 from our friends at Pacific? A round of applause. All right, guys. Is Igor winning $100?
I think Igor.
Looks like Igor's our big winner, guys. Thank you one more time.
I think Igor
Round
wins
of applause
this.
for both of our barista competitors and our friends at Pacific Barista Series. Again, thank you for supporting the barista community. In the plant
Yo,
milk
Barista
world.
Series are the goats. They are goats. They have been supporting these competitions
Give you an e-gift card.
for so long.
I'll just have Terica take it down. Igor won, so we just take down his name and info for them.
So long.
All right,
Alrighty, guys.
a little bit of cleanup.
This is going
We're
to
gonna
be
start
a crazy
getting ready
round.
to do
We have the
second half
Iceman.
of our competition round.
We have Thomas Schroeder, who is no longer Iceman, that ice melted a long time ago. Tom is my protege. Tom is one of my favorite people in the world. Tom has a lot of arm tattoos. A lot. And I knew him when he had none. I watched this growth. I've got to see him evolve as a person.
Good job.
He did.
All right, friends, let's welcome up the stage our next two
He did.
barista competitors.
Sorry, I was hearing something in the microphone.
Guys, for-
Uh-oh, we got Donnie walking in the building with a fanny pack causing some issues. Sorry, y'all can't see that. Take my word for it. It's Donnie. Fanny pack. No shoes on. Worth a look.
It's like Thomas.
It also looks like somebody may have spit
So intimidating.
on the
How you
board.
doing, man? Feeling good? So good to see you back out competing. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Kengo did win his round, Steve, yes. Apologies, I thought I had said that, but Kengo did win his round. Yeah, they're not always cutting in the mic for when the judges announce it. I might get them to fix that now so that you can hear the judges vote, not just me saying, oh, that person won, moving forward.
ready to pour some latte?
What? Maybe.
I think you should submit an Americano, see what happens. That'd be easier. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, woo. You know, when you do things like World Latte Art competitions, you can do things like buy
Alrighty, guys, we're gonna get those announcements on so you guys can hear them more lively in the live chat as well. All right. Wait a second. These are the incorrect names, but I'll help you out. This is Fluke, DQ Fluke, called DQ Fluke because he dequalified once in competition. Fluke is a very funny character. Fluke used to tell me, Emily, your pores belong in the trash. You belong in the trash. We're friends. I promise we're friends. But he would definitely haze me in a very polite way. And whereas Tom, my protege from Houston, one of my closest friends in the whole wide world, we've known each other for a long time now, he also makes fun of me sometimes. One time I was with Tom, and it was in Houston, and he looked at me, and I was like, man, dude, we're getting so old. We're 27 now. And he looked at me, and he said, yeah, you look 27. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's Tom. That's the Iceman. You wouldn't have it any other way. Alrighty, let's get into the real challenge. Oh, okay, we've got Fluke doing a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wing tulip. Looks like a very Daisuke Turner style meets Segato style with the wing 1, 1, 4 or 5. I wasn't counting 1. Tom is doing that classic Houston style, lots of flow. Looks like a wing 1, 1. I'm not quite sure. It looks like Tom wasn't able to quite get the definition he wanted in his base. And there is a counter over here as well with Fluke having a slightly overfilled cup. That is going to be a negative point if Tom doesn't make a mess or under or overfills as well. That being said, that is absolutely beautiful. We are talking line clarity. If I were Tom, I would avoid looking at the screens as much as possible prior to pouring. A lot of people look for the pour. I personally think your brain makes you do it. He has plenty of time, 30 seconds. But your brain makes you look, but at the same time, I really don't think you should. Almost you should go in not knowing exactly what the person's going to do 100%, and it shouldn't matter what they're going to do anyway. And it looks like Tom may have underdeveloped that base just a little bit. He's going for simple flow. This is a classic Twiz style, Tom style, Emily style. Oh yeah, classic Houston, classic Ice Tom. Based off memory, before we even see it on the screen, I can already tell you that Fluke got definition, as in line clarity. Fluke got color distribution. We can see that right here. Fluke got difficulty, and arguably, and I would say actually accurately, Fluke got execution and speed. And let's see, symmetry, I might actually give to Tom, even though there's a bit of base busting here. The only reason is, well, maybe I wouldn't. You got to think about how Chris is going to judge this and how the judges are going to analyze this. They are going to count one by one each symmetry issue you see. So here, Fluke, we have a little bit of a symmetry. You have multiple symmetry issues in the base. Base doesn't even come up to the top. Symmetry issues in those top hearts right before that final heart. Tom, a little bit of a wobble at the bottom because his flow is just coming in too flowy for that. He's not taking those time with those ripples like I taught him. I'm just hazing him. And it did bust the base just a little bit, but technically speaking, Tom's is more symmetrical. We could count each one of these layers inside of Tom's base, but honestly, there's not enough of them to really dictate what is what symmetrical-wise. That is an advantage Fluke has. Fluke has almost every point here, and I think I'm going to give it, I think I got, 5 on Fluke for sure. The cups are, for the chat, the judges are turning the cups because one of the points is a clean cup point. If your cup is overfilled or underfilled, you lose that point. If your cup is messy on any sides, you lose that point. If both competitors have an under or overfilled or messy cup, the judges will count how much of a discrepancy one has, well, not discrepancy, how much of a mess one has over another. So which one is way far and beyond the bigger culprit of breaking that rule. And
give it up, guys, for Fluke!
Alrighty, guys. Let's go. Woo, we got Paulo and Jacob. We've got the skis god over here. Jacob is a musician with a secret persona, skis god. If y'all didn't know, Jacob is a master at the skis, master at the cheese. You don't want to mess with it, grinding on those knees, something like that. That was from me to you. And then we have Paulo, who is a longtime competitor, longtime Starbucks Rosie user competitor, but not a Starbucks Rosie to be seen on the stage this season. Nobody brought one. Nobody's doing the Starbucks. Little camaraderie, a lot of love. A lot of love. The trick here is to hug. The feet is glitchy. I just thought you should know the feet is glitching. That's what they're saying. And we apologize for the little bit of glitches here and there, everybody. It will come back. It is actually not McDonald's Wi-Fi. We had to spend quite a bit of money to get the ability to upload in HD to you guys, and to be uploading so many sources. It was actually quite a hassle, and has for the most part been working. So now it's being a little choppy. Let's give it a minute, see what happens. But this is another reason why you should just come to these events and support your local New York. We've got Rap God playing on the microphone for anybody who's not able to hear that and is here. Oh, it's bad. It's done. All right, guys, we do apologize for the live feed being pretty laggy, but we're going to do our best to get it back on for you. Looks like Paulo is doing a beautiful wing bass, lots of flow, lots of loosey-goosey. Wing after that, 2 and then 1. And it looks like Jacob is also doing a similar style. But I would say Jacob's bass is not flowing in the cup as much. That might be to his advantage, though, because Paulo's pour is a little loosey-goosey, and it did slightly bust that bass.
Really smelling it. That's right. Getting the caffeine and the evanescence there. Beautiful pour by both these beers. Let's make sure we got these up on the screen.
Okay, so now we have, okay, wow, so this is a very tough round. I'm going to go through the points one by one with you guys. We're not going to waste any time here. Paulo has speed. Speed is taken. You cannot have speed. Paulo also has a slightly underfilled cup.
3-layer, 1, 2, 3, 4-layer.
Having an underfilled cup means you lose your speed point when you think about those being V versus each other. Because those are negligible points when you have 7 points. Each person gets 1. Now we're down to 3. So you only have 3 points you need to win, not 4. So Paulo has a lot of flow going on. I would argue that Paulo here has line. Oh, you know what? The more I look at it, the more it is hard for me to decide. I think that Jacob has execution. Jacob has symmetry. Jacob has arguably degree of difficulty because they are going to count the amount of lines. Paulo has color distribution and speed, and it's going to come down to execution, which I believe Jacob has. Jacob is coming in hot here. Skis God for the flow. Look at that. This is another example, guys. There are 2 different classic styles of latte. You have calm, cool, collected, and you have heavy flow, chaotic, rapping, mixing the layers. Lance Hedrick, who's in the chat, famous for combining that Japanese and American style, similar to what we're seeing with Paulo here, but with a lot more control. Actually, probably a mix of the 2 we're seeing here with his own flair as well. But Jacob here took it calm, cool, and collected. And sometimes, if you just get a bass, you get a wing, and you focus on symmetry and cleanliness, you're going to win. That's the game. And here you can see the judges are pointing off all the little discrepancies between the individuals' executions. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. And Apollo did bust that base. But before it had sat out for a while, that was probably one of the prettier pours of the day. Coming in just a little bit too hot. Maybe if you're gonna come in with milk like that, with that much of a flow, start 1/2 inch higher, about a centimeter higher in the cup. That way you have a less propensity of breaking your base. Jacob here has not a lot of flow at all. Jacob was taking it very soft. The milk was not gliding, but that's not always a bad thing. You might not get color distribution, but you might get symmetry. No, I don't know his milk temp, but I do not need to know his milk temp to judge this.
Difficult decision. Let's see who's moving on to the next round.
And I always, when I say coming in hot, I don't mean coming in hot with milk, by the way.
Jacob Kingsley.
Give it up, guys, for Jacob
And
Kingsley.
Jacob is moving on. He can break my base. Yeah, he can.
2 beautiful pours. Well done, baristas. And one more time, let's welcome off the stage our next 2 competitors, guys. Give it up for Emma Carrero and Wei An Lang.
Oh, this is going to be a beastly round as well.
Emma, you were an alternate yesterday. Here you are, round 2. You feeling good? You got this. You got this. You pretended like you were nervous yesterday, but then you knocked him out. So just do that again, right? Okay, good. Okay, good luck.
All right, Emma, let's go. We got Emma and Wei An.
How you feeling today?
Both competitors.
Awesome,
Wei An,
looking good.
good friend.
Anything fun and
Long-time
exciting
friend.
new today? Feeling good? All settled in?
Emma,
okay, he's ready.
coming in
Okay, I'm
with
not
the
gonna mess
fit,
with your
coming
flow.
in with the looks, coming in with the vibes.
Put these baristas in
Coming in with
competition
the
mode.
confidence. I love it.
Wei
Love
An,
to see
you ready?
competitors confident. Wei An doing
Emma,
a
you
really
ready?
good technique.
2.5
Already
minutes on the clock,
pre-stacking the
baristas.
cups.
On your mark, get set, go. Let's hear it for him, guys. Come on.
Emma's doing a great job. Emma is already doing something I really recommend, which is dose your milk first. If I were to correct this posture at all, even just a little bit, all I would say is, Emma, maybe try in the future being a little ambidextrous. It's in your best interest to try to do multiple things at once, if you can. That's my take. I have a very narrow-minded view of how one should move through the stage, considering the time you have and the fact that they keep taking the time away. You know? But Emma's doing a great job already at the bar flow. Already
Funny thing
steaming.
is, it's like
Shots
a
already
fisheye
falling.
camera, so like her hands look gigantic whenever she lifts them up.
It's
More
funny.
bread, Jerry.
We have Josh talking about my hands, which I can hear in the microphone from across the room. I keep forgetting we have a wide lens, so my hands look a lot
Holy
bigger.
cow.
Maybe I should jump in like this. Alrighty, Wei An is pouring that first drink as well as Emma. Oh, Emma coming in with an absolutely stunning wing. Stunning second layer as well, and keeping it consistent with those top hearts. Oh, and that slow, controlled cut through. That might be the best cut through we've seen all day. I think Emma should take that. If there's no blemishes on the sides, yep. I gotta give a round of applause just for that. That was good job, Emma. That was awesome. That's a really great pour. Wei An with an also equally as powerful pour. These are some complex wing tulips, guys. This is gonna be a beautiful one to see on the screen. Wow, this is already so impressive. Wow. Yeah, the audience is saying, damn. I agree. Dang, this is tough, guys. This is tough. In the chat, let me know what you think. Whew. Okay, we're going down the points one by one. This is a tough round because Wei An really brought it. It looks like Wei An is doing a wing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And Emma is doing a wing 3, 1. So automatically we have to give difficulty over to Wei An. We have difficulty. We also have line clarity over here on Wei An. We have color distribution on Wei An. Definitely we have execution. But honestly, dude, if this was any other round, Emma would have moved on from this.
It's really nice.
But Wei An
beautiful, intricate layers
Wei An
between here. Fully stacked up to the
practicing in
top,
a hyperbolic
which means he's
chamber.
getting a big push to bring it up to the top of the heart and cap.
Nice symmetry on this floor there.
Very beautiful pours. Emma has a little bit of some smush stuff going on in these top parts. At the end of the day, yeah, I think in any other round, Emma's like killing it. This is a beautiful pour that would totally move on. It is nuts. But that right pour or that left pour is just, it's almost perfect. I don't really see much to fix on it. If I were to correct something that Weon could do a little better, it would be establishing a connection of the base while you land in the cup. You can see there's just a bit of beige on the outer ring of the wing. Judges are ready.
Moving forward, we have Weon Lang.
Give it up, guys, for Weon. One more time, guys.
And Weon moves on. That was I think, correct call. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. But honestly, if Emma put that down against me, I would have peed my pants. Like, I would have felt so anxious about that. It probably would have beaten me. All right, guys, we are on the other side of the bracket. We have been down for a little while now. We are in the middle half. We have Haley Henderson and Robert. We got Rob going up. Looks like Robert is making his way to the stage, is not here quite yet.
How's it going today? Doing good. Here we are, round two. You know what you're doing. What's the skate you're doing? Good luck. Good luck with it. You're awesome. Right behind you. Robert. First time competing. Round two. Here you are, my friend.
I love the chat. Imagine seeing Weon as your first draw, or as your first draw in the throwdown tonight. That's funny. A very wise barista once told me when I was competing in my first competition, I was worried about the opponent I was going to go against. I believe it was Ryan Soder who told me that Cabell had told him, Cabell Tice, it should not matter who you go against because the point of being here is to be able to beat anyone. And of course we all are friends, so we're not being malicious about it. But you should be able to compete against anyone and everyone. It shouldn't matter who you go against. If anything, when someone's good, it should inspire you to become beastly, as they say. A lot of the people that pour the things you see today would not have done that without the challenge of having people that were beating them, giving them the road and foundation to get better. You have to take an L to take a win. I think you all know that. Deep down, existentially. Before we turn into dust. Alrighty, we have 2 minutes on the clock, and it looks like Rob is just now dosing his milk, but he's in the vibe. He is in the zone, he has his headphones on, he's bobbing his head. Haley's already done with her milk. Haley's gonna pour. Haley is taking it calm, cool, and collected. I like that, appreciate that. It's the best way to go about it. There's no rush. I would personally sacrifice speed for a very clean, good, flowy pour. Have fun with it. Relax and do your thing. Beautiful, beautiful base already. And oh, absolutely stunning. That is what I'm talking about. I think Haley needs to wipe that cup and take it. If there is a spill. Nope, no. Oh, there is a spill. Still, that is one of the better pours we've seen today. That Rosetta is absolutely stunning. Haley and I were actually talking before the show about how to, because I was commenting yesterday about leaning forward with the flow. Oh, and Rob's gonna put down his drink. A complex tulip with lots of variation going on. We'll wait to see it on the screen again. But Haley definitely has been practicing this pour over and over to the point where it is nearly flawless. Absolutely stunning. I wish I could pour Rosettas like that. And more specifically, Haley took the time to develop that base. And normally, if you're gonna do a limited base, you have more room for these wide leaves. Haley got both. She got a big base with lots of wide leaves, super open, lots of flow. That's gonna get you color with that push. That's gonna get you actually it looks like Rob is pouring a second pour. I am a bad host, I was not paying attention. Rob here on that second layer was not enough of a ripple. When you're doing a ripple, if you wanted to leave an impact, you gotta ripple wider. It looks like Rob is gonna ditch that second pour and go straight in and put the first one down with that last second to spare. Wow. Wow. I don't envy them. That's tough. That is tough. I'm ready to see these on the screen, but I am still in awe of just how beautiful that was. Haley coming in with just not only beautiful pours, but consistency. And we can see here right on automatically, Haley has color distribution. And if anybody doesn't know, that is when you mix the brown and the white all throughout the pour. And my opinion, in an aesthetically pleasing manner that makes sense to the pour. But Haley has a lot more color in her pour. Haley has a lot of line clarity in these pours, speed obviously, but that shouldn't matter because Haley did set that cup down with a blemish, but Rob set the cup down with an underfill. So Haley will probably not be counted off for that blemish. We'll see. Execution, 100% Haley. Rob over here has an almost perfect design as well, but he is biasing towards one side with that pitcher. You can see it in the moment when he's pouring. It's actually, the base is pretty much consistent.
Our judges are ready. Let's see who's moving on.
The judges are ready. I will stop.
Okay, moving on, we have Haley Henderson.
Give it up, guys, for Haley!
Good call. I think that is the correct call. Rob has a stunning base, but on that second layer, it is tilted to the wrong angle, which warps one side more than the other, unfortunately. Really great round. Really great round. Sponsor Tiki Breeze. Okay, but if you thought that last round was good, everybody shut up for a second, because it's about to get crazy. We've got Ivan, who's a goat. We've got Kenji, who's a young goat. Multi-title winner here. Doing a technique that I actually do a lot, which is making sure that the amount of milk in your jug is not too much. Sometimes when you walk up to the stage, people will have left it a wreck, or there won't be enough milk in your jug, or there'll be too much milk in your jug and it's really heavy and you don't want it to spill out all over the counter whenever you're filling in your pitchers in the very beginning. So it is good. I always go for the one that's half full, so I can tilt the jug 100 or completely at a 90-degree angle and really get that pouring without too much spilling and too much velocity causing bubbles. If you have too little, that would also be not opportune because you don't have enough milk to add should you have to go back for a second. It's all about the feeling. You have to think about all these little things because when you're in the moment, when you're in that moment, there's a lot of anxiety. If someone hugs you the wrong way, it can trigger anxiety. If someone talks to you the wrong way, it can trigger it. If the pitcher of milk is too heavy, it can trigger your anxiety. It's fight or flight.
You ready, Ivan?
So the updated bracket is updated every day at the end of the day.
Applause for our next two. On your marks. Get set. Go.
The updated bracket is live every day. At the end of the day, they update it on Coffee Fest's website. It's a little bit of a hunt to find it, but if you go to their website and you search through, you should be able to find the location where it says Bracket of New York. Alrighty, Kenji is already steaming, as well as Ivan. Both are very quick. You should be able to steam your milk within the first 15 seconds. You should be at that steam wand, in my humble opinion. Let's go Kenji, and let's go Ivan. Kenji and Ivan are back to back. They're finishing almost identical in time. I'm expecting Kenji is going to do some complex tulip variation, as well as Ivan, though I do think Ivan is going to be a little bit more of a traditional style. Kenji doing that heavy push base with a bit of a flowy fill. Okay, and a ripple. And then a infusion. This is a very, very beautiful pour. and it looks pretty well executed. I think Kenji should just take it. And Kenji is gonna just take it. Very beautiful. Oh, but Ivan coming in with an also stunning pour. Wow, this is tough. This is tough. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the H-Town style. Twiz has poured this pour. I've poured this pour. I mean, you name it. From Houston, we've poured these pours. And then you have Ivan doing a classic style of a Wing Wing 1-3. I think that out of these points, I would say that Kenji has color distribution, execution, symmetry, and speed. And for me, that is 4 points. Though you could argue degree of difficulty, and you could argue line clarity. It's tricky. Little bit of a mess up blemish in the cut through on Ivan's. If Ivan didn't make that one blemish in the base as well as that cut through, Ivan might have advanced this round. But I think they're gonna go Kenji. I think they're gonna go Kenji.
Nice symmetry, the layers look good. On this side for Kenji, same thing, dark brown coloring. Really is beautiful on top. We're getting a little
Absolutely
bit
stunning.
on the camera, but you can't quite see how great the contrast is there. Awesome job on this side. You can see what they do.
Yeah.
Double prong here. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. Yeah, two really great pours, guys. How about an applause for both these competitors? Just getting more and more into this.
There's not a way to fix the glitch, is there? It's just being that way for some reason.
The Wi-Fi's just not strong enough. We would have to tweak.
What happened to the thingy?
What?
The little thing's not working.
It just doesn't have the upload speed you need for HD video.
But even when it's like low,
Yeah.
it's still like
No, I know.
it wasn't like that yesterday.
We're taking in HD video. The Wi-Fi isn't strong enough to put it out.
But is this going to be uploaded like this
No,
permanently?
that's
or-
why I'm prioritizing recording so that it'll be uploaded HD.
Okay.
So if they're worried about the quality, it'll be uploaded in a better quality.
Okay, the judges are ready. I think they're going to go Kenji.
We have Kenji.
Yep.
Give it up, guys, for Kenji Tanaka.
Very good round. Very good round.
Close round.
That was a tough one. Again, any other day, Ivan would have won that. That was very tough. Very tough, but Kenji is probably one of the most consistent competitors to ever come through Coffee Fest. I don't think, I mean, he does have blemishes in his pours every once in a while. Every pour has a blemish up on these stages, but for the most part, they are almost always what he wants to execute, at least from what I can assume he wants to execute. We're all a little bit of a picky bunch as well. Yeah, so Steve, something to note about Kenji and changing the pours. You know, these pours are classics. These are pours that we've all done them, these variations before. And even myself in the past, switching comp, one comp will be rosies, one will be hollow hearts, one will be a very specific tulip organization. And these patterns, at the end of the day, for the most part, there is one I won't tell you guys about today. I'll tell you about it another day. They've almost all been completed before and performed before, but that is something to admire about Kenji, is that he takes each fest as its unique little chapter. I do the same thing. It's such a fun way of approaching the game because you can really lock in on one style, and usually you'll learn something new about that style and those variables. When I was doing hollow hearts, I messed up with the hollow heart on that last time whenever I decided to go away from that, and that was when I lost. So really sticking to a style is the best way to go. Alrighty, looking over at the monitor, we have Christian and DJ. Christian is already steaming his milk. DJ is just about to get there. We are at 2 minutes. It is taking a little bit of time, so this will probably be a one pour for both competitors. But we will see. There is still plenty of time should they expedite these pours. It's amazing how much community we've seen from slow pour supply pitchers. not a sponsor, like they are a sponsor, but not me shouting them out as a sponsor. They are just, you see them in every single competitor's hand, and I have not seen a single person support the community more than Anita Tam from Slow Pour. So it's so great to see that represented here. Oh, looks like Christian has a beautiful ripple going on in that first layer, and then he's going to do a solid, solid, solid. And he is doing a very Segato style pour here. Super clean. DJ coming in with also a beautiful base. Beautiful layer manipulation here. Cutting it a bit short with the complexity, but overall the symmetry and line clarity and color is stunning. A little bit of a crinkle on that base. That happens to me. That is not an easy thing to avoid. You have to be very deliberate about not crashing your base and making sure you really mix that crema efficiently. Happens a lot when you do push bases. Wow, Christian coming in with one of the best pours of the day, absolutely. That is going to be tough to beat. If I were DJ, I would not look at the screen at all. Okay. Alrighty. DJ has just enough time to pour one more drink if he starts pouring now. Okay, he has plenty of time. Already a beautiful wing. Nope, and so DJ's gonna ditch and go with the first. I think that is an accurate call for this round. And folks at home, usually the second pour, it's tough. It is very, very, very tough to get a clean second pour. Almost impossible, unless you're one of the best. Wow, that is incredibly tough. Wow. I mean, taking it from, let's take a peek back. Let's take a step back. Looking at the points, Christian has line clarity and color distribution, speed, execution, and degree of difficulty. And it looks like, I guess there might be a clean cup thing going on with DJ. I'm not really sure. Actually, Christian does have a messy cup, so Christian will not get the benefit of the speed point per se and the benefit of the clean cup point. So we'll see. I think definitely the left. When I'm looking at this left pour, what I'm seeing, the only blemish we're seeing is a bit of a shift in ripple rate. So Christian here he's got a missing section. You can see it right in the middle of his wing base. There's two little wings that don't quite connect. He has a pace. He's paced off a little bit, and he locked up there. Chris is ready. We're gonna stop.
Moving on, we have
And
Christian.
Christian is moving on. Left pour is the winner. Great round. Great round, and DJ came in hot as well. That beautiful, beautiful tulip. One of the best rounds of the day.
Give it up, guys.
One of the best.
Hyacinth, Rios, and Lina.
Uh-oh, we have Haya. Haya coming in with the green swag, always the green. And we got Lena over here in the polar opposite primaries. We got red. We got green and red, a little festivity up
So
here.
good to see you here. Round two. Feeling prepped? Feeling solid?
Very exciting to see
You're
these two
ready for
competitors.
this?
Both of these
Ready for
competitors,
this?
Lena
Okay.
and
Best of luck
Haya,
to you,
are
Lena.
friends of
You're
mine,
rocking
so
house.
I'm gonna have a tough time
Haya,
battling this one.
What's happening? So good to see you up here, round two. Nice to be here. Feeling hype? Feeling good? Good. Awesome. Good. Good. Well, best of luck to you as well. All right, these baristas getting all settled in. Our second to last competitors of the round.
Alrighty, guys. This is a hard one. We haven't even started, and I can already tell this is a hard one. Competitors
Another
are getting
amazing
prepped.
sponsor while these baristas get their last finishing touches of
Some
their
more pro
setup.
tips.
We'd like to
Always
thank our
good.
sponsor,
Test
Espresso
your
State of
steam
Mind,
on.
guys.
Make
These
sure
guys
your
do
rags are in the right
everything from
place.
Microphones, cameras, screens, live feed. By the way, they're also back here just across from us, giving out awesome swag. And there's going to be a party tonight. Who's all going
And
to
the
the
competitors, of
Hey,
course,
what's
giving
up?
a good hug.
Who's all going to the throwdown tonight? It's going to be a fun party. Everybody make sure you're out there. We're excited to have everyone. Anybody who's the details? Someone tell the details of the party tonight? Anybody know the time and where it is?
Oh, I appreciate that kind
flyer
comment, Steve.
back at the Espresso
I'll
State
try to
of
do that
Mind
more
booth.
in YouTube
We'll definitely
videos
make
too.
sure you guys find out where it is you want to be there. So
I do apologize, everybody, if you're having a little bit of a lag. I'm having it on my screen as well, but I will say the pours we've seen today are just absolutely stunning. Uh-oh. I'm going to be honest with you. Haya not seeing the tamper. It might seem innocent, but if that happened to me, that is when my nerves give Josh a second.
Get set. Go.
Just those little moments in the beginning when you start, when your nerves are at the highest they're going to be, you're in the cusp of fight or flight. You can't find the tamper. That is going to cause anxiety. At least it would for me. So I'm hoping that does not happen to Haya. I hope that was a complete little blink in the moment, not a big deal. And we're going to move on. Lena is already pulling that shot. Lena is getting her cup just in the right position, which is very smart because if you're going to stack cups, you definitely want to make sure it doesn't fall over. Has happened to me. I personally like to stack cups with one hand by holding my fingers on both sides, gripping the handle with my pinky, and then focus on the milk with the other hand. But, you know, can't let that cup fall. Alrighty, here we go. I'm excited to see this. This is one of my favorite rounds of the day. Lena's already pouring. We are already over to the table with Lena. Oh, that's a great angle. Alrighty, Lena has done a ripple base, is going to do a ripple second. I think she's going to go for multiple layers at the top. It looks like she's going for a classic tulip of a wing 1-1. Okay, let's go. And Lena just takes the speed. Took it. No hesitation. I'll hold my thoughts on that pour. One thing I would love to see from Lena in the future would be more ripples in that base. I would love to see Lena slow down just a little bit and get more ripples to make that pour more impressive. Haya here doing an almost identical style flow, but the milk texture is a bit thinner here, and that is actually a stunning pour from Haya. If they can put it down successfully, and they did, they should take it. Take it. There's not enough time to even pour a second one. Unless you had double batched your milk, there is not enough time to pour a second. It is hard not to shake in these moments, ladies and gentlemen, with all the people watching, all the nerves, and the fact that you're one and done, even though you can get two, you're one and done. It's make or break. I don't know the statistic, but most people, when they pour a second, don't pour a better pour. I have one time poured a better pour on my second pour. All right, if we're breaking these down, we have, in my opinion, crazy color distribution from Lena. All that, it's coming from that flow. It's coming really from the milk texture, because if Haya had just a little bit more texture, similar to Lena's here, it's just a little thin on Haya's to the right, Haya would have had a similar effect of that base. These are very similar styles of approach. If anything, Haya would have had a more technically sound base, because Haya has more layers going on in there, but that milk was a bit crumbly, it was a bit thin, kind of fell apart. The cut through on both pours is not my favorite. Little wonky on both, but I do like the aesthetic of Haya's cut, and I do like the symmetry of that pour. I do, however, think Lena's going to take this round with the remaining points. And Chris DeFerio would agree. But not for nothing, a beautiful round from Haya, beautiful round from Lena. Similar pours. I'm curious how that would have gone if Haya had done one more layer and they had been the same pour. I'm curious how that would have gone. Yeah, well, so speed, as far as the statistic of speed being a big deal in the point, it does come in a lot, especially when you have neck and neck pours. In the past, when we had only 5 points, not 7, speed used to be extremely important. I mean, it was basically the win. Like, if you didn't get speed, you had a much harder battle to go up, because you then had to get 3 points and someone already has 1, they only have to get 2. So nowadays it is a lot more balanced, because say you take speed but you negate the fact that you have a large spill on your cup, well, you lost speed. You lost the value that speed has, more specifically, and then we go back down to that 5-point system minus speed. Oh my gosh, next we have a crazy round. We have Rad and Sagato. This is going to be really awesome. Sagato is, I already know what Sagato is going to pour. I think viewer at home, you probably know as well. Probably a wing 1-1, 4 or 5-1. We'll see what happens. Or maybe a classic style. I think, ladies and gentlemen, if we can get in the comment, can we get a cool, cool? Alrighty, guys, thank you for sticking with us. We are on the final round of the day, I think. Yep, final round of the day. And it's gonna be epic. Let's see. I think for this one, we need a 5th judge. I've been judging this whole time. I don't need to vote, but I do judge everyone who comes up here. And the 5th judge will, of course, be our little pigeon here. So I think Rad's going to pour something really wonderful. And I think Sagato is going to pour something crazy as well. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. This could go either way. This could go either way. Got some J. Cole playing in the background. I want to take a second while I have you guys. Sagato is a long-time competitor. I was seeing Sagato when I first got into this competition years ago, and you can tell, look at that pour, it's absolutely stunning. It is nearly flawless. There is a traditional issue that Sagato has with these top hearts being leaning towards one side, or some layers in those single stacks in the middle when he does those solid, multi-stack sections. A lot of the time, one's biasing. This one, it's really only the blemish on the top heart that's biasing. Maybe a little bit, but really what's going on with that is Sagato's cut through is biased towards one side by like a millimeter. And if I don't think he's gonna work on it now. He's been doing this forever. But if he ever did fix that, that symmetry would become a lot better. But after seeing the second pour, I mean, Sagato definitely is probably gonna take symmetry on this one. Wow. We actually have a gin of who wore it best. We have a wing 1-1, a bunch of stuff. I don't know, you name a number, they did it. 1. And we also have a slightly lopsided heart on both sides. But unfortunately for Rad, we have a very chunky cut through. The base did not grow. It did not expand. The milk was a little bit too thick. Those top hearts, they need more separation between them to get the color to pop. And the judges are ready for our last round, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here today. Yeah, Sagato is moving on, and that is the end of day 2. Thank you guys for joining us. We are going to go live again tomorrow for day 3. Make sure to come back. It's going to be insane, and every single round is going to be elite. Usually they are, and I'm going to be here with even curlier hair than I have today. I promise. And am out.